A universal truth that only a few ancient minds in Toril have begun to grasp is that time is cyclical. This is not to say that at the end of the multiverse, everything will begin again anew and play out the same as before. Rather, events of great significance leave a large mark upon destiny and are thus compelled to repeat themselves. Three adventurers brought together seemingly at random find themselves marching toward the site of one such event, and the opportunity to build their own legacy.
My name is Logan Christensen. I'm a level 15 warlock, patron of the memes. My patron is Shaggy.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a level 17 neurotic, proficient with hand sanitizer and wet wipes. I'm Shannon. I'm a level, most of them are 10, yarn lady witch. You should probably describe what you just did. I shuffled my dice.
I'm Mason and I'm a level 100 procrastinator.
Same.
Except I don't have anything to procrastinate. I have no responsibilities.
You want to procrastinate my classes with me?
I don't have any classes to procrastinate.
His
That's what I'm
classes.
saying. You can use my classes.
I'm not prepared. My spells are on the shelf next to me. Okay, we're good.
Alright, so, when last we met, you had arrived at a small nondescript tavern and met Hjolfmar, who said he would lead you to Frostford and Windshire Citadel in the north. And since then you've been walking. It's been about a week on, it's not much of a road, it's more of a trail through the snow. With Hjolfmar and his fox Genvia leading the way.
You can be excited about
During
playing the
this
game.
first week, I think Ingrid would have liked to begin her training. So who would like to train Ingrid first?
Me.
All right, Eli, you're training Ingrid. What do you want to teach her first about fighting?
Sword.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
All right, Master Eli, what do I need to learn about the sword this week?
I'm not your master, but let's do, I'm not smart enough. I was just gonna say, like, you're under the pretense that Shannon knows how to
That's
use
a
a
fair
sword.
point.
I
I don't
know
know.
stage combat sword fight, which is like 1, 2.
Okay, so basically you teach her the basic blocking and parrying first, since the best offense is a good defense. Or did I say that backwards?
It goes either way
It
depending
goes
on the
either way
situation.
depending on the situation?
Yeah,
Cool.
people are kind of wishy-washy on that one.
Hate that. So you teach her basic blocking and parrying, as well as a couple thrusts and slashes, and she picks it up pretty well,
Nice.
resulting in her...
Killing me.
Yeah, new character, Shannon. No, resulting in her being somewhat competent with a blade now.
Does Eli have to give her something to
She
work
brought
with?
her own weapons.
Oh, okay.
Corpor had a stock of weapons.
I think I asked that last time.
Yeah.
I think so.
She brought a longbow and arrows, and then a long sword and a shield.
Oh, she might be screwed with the longbow, though. None of us know how to use that. Well, she knows how to use a sword, and
I
that's
can use
just,
a crossbow.
That's very, very different. Well,
Alright.
you can just use
got
the
some-
bow to, like, hit people with, like it's a sword.
You guys making camp for the evening. Basically, you dig out a little hollow under some roots so that you're less cold. And Hjolfmar stands, readies his crossbow, and says, "All right, who wants to go hunting with me this evening?"
I'll go hunting. Let's go.
Says, "Aye, lad, that's the spirit." You guys end up heading through the forest a ways, and you don't really find much, but Hjolfmar strikes up a conversation. Oh yeah, you roll a survival check as well, actually. Sorry, he was a hunter, so it was...
With Dex?
No,
Wisdom.
survival. Wisdom.
Oh, haha. Thank you. 7.
17, alright. Well, okay, you do great. Hjolfmar does terribly. It's a good thing he brought you along. You end up with a brace of hares for dinner. And Hjolfmar says, "That was a well-laid trap you caught those hares in, lad. Where'd you learn to trap like that?"
On the sea with many of these.
Interesting. I suppose some skills with fishing are transferable when you're setting lures.
Yeah, the lures are pretty similar.
Aye, well, we're eating well tonight. Thank you, lad.
I thought you just shot him with your crossbow, but no.
I mean, I figured rabbits usually catch and trap. And since Mason
You
doesn't
do
have
have to kill them.
Wait, are they rabbits or hares?
hares, that's the same thing, Jamie.
Those were bigger.
Okay, I was just worried for a moment. Shannon thought that they were like two very different animals. Like, what are they?
So you guys make camp for the evening. Eli and Ingrid are sparring to practice more. Hjolfmar and Dread are out hunting. What does Atrix do in the meantime here?
I think I'm going to work with my Shadow Slash, the weapon I received after killing a shadow. Well, not killing, scaring off a shadow beast. Because I think the sword's not quite right for her, and so she doesn't really want a blade per se, but with some work she's able to kind of shape the shadow into a weapon of choice, which is more like a spiked chain. It's a
mace.
Not really a mace. It's a long. It's kind of like a whip with a blade at the end, more or less. And it's not like super long range per se, but it's more of a dexterous type weapon than necessarily a strength. I know I use my charisma stats, but physically
It's just more aesthetically right.
Yeah, it suits her personality more, I think.
Just so listeners know, I did pre-approve this change. All right, perfect. Well, that takes most of your evening, and then you guys go to sleep for the night. You notice it's not you don't really run into much of anything this far north. It's pretty barren. Like, you guys have to work hard to forage and find things. The forest is thinning out as you head north. And Hjolfmar explains this as not much lives up here. He's all bundled up, just walking and looking around for roots and stuff. It's much harder for things to take root up this way. You'll find white wolves every once in a while, and perhaps a stag or two, but they're mostly lean and hungry. And after like another day marching, you guys exit the forest. And before you is just a huge open plain, farther than you can see, almost farther than you can comprehend, of just white snow. Hjolfmar says, we've reached the snowfields prior to Axebite Ridge. You're going to want to keep an eye out. It's deceptively easy to sneak up on someone in here.
How's that?
A lot of creatures in the area adapted to blend into the snow or tunnel under it, and bandits use the same tactics as well, so we'll want to keep an eye out.
Okay, it's not like magical or anything.
No, nothing. No magic, usually.
Okay. Should we roll perceptions, or...?
No, you're okay. I'll let you know if you need to.
Okay.
You don't run into anyone else traveling because no one comes up this way. And who wants to take over week 2 of Ingrid training?
I'm gonna be realistic. I can't teach her anything.
Fair point.
Nothing I have is teachable. So it's up to you, Dread.
I will train her.
Teach her how to tie sailor knots.
I'll teach her how to be a sailor.
I mean, marksmanship's probably pretty transferable, even though you're not proficient with the weapon she's using.
That's what I was kind of thinking. Let's at least try to teach her how to aim. See if we could both learn a skill.
Ooh.
All right. Let's roll to see how well that goes. Roll a performance check.
9.
Okay, so it doesn't go badly, but there's no amazing breakthroughs for you specifically. Ingrid definitely picks up a lot of pointers. By the end of the week, she's able to knock the can off the wooden fence that you're putting it on, or whatever you're using as targets.
Probably not metal cans.
Why not? This is my world.
Fair enough.
There are metal cans everywhere.
Littering is out of hand.
That's why this region is
fantasy, This is just
barren.
real life. This is the wasteland after humans have died.
So yeah, every time you guys stop for the night or just to take a break, you and Ingrid are using practice bows and arrows to practice marksmanship, and she learns a lot, actually. You don't pick up any extra proficiencies or anything, though, because you didn't roll quite well enough.
That's a bummer.
That is a bummer. You're right.
You know what? How about re-roll that for the end of the week, because you're spending a whole week doing it.
It's 20.
Yeah, okay, you're going to pick up longbow proficiency off that.
Oh.
Because...
In order to teach, you have to learn how
exactly.
to use it.
Well, like, you can show with some limit with your hand crossbow, but there's the matter of, like, drawing the weapon, like, drawing the bow, and you kind of know how to do it already because you use a short bow. It's just a much bigger weapon with the longbow.
Use a short bow?
Well, he knows how to use a short bow.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you figure it out pretty quick how to use a longbow, and are able to help her learn a lot better than the previous few days. All right, and at the end of week 2, you find yourselves coming over a large hill which you've been hiking up for some time, and at the top of which you can see a huge mountain range in front of you. One mountain in particular stands out. It seems to have been cleaved in half at some point. So a small section leans to the left, leaving a huge pass in the middle.
Are we headed out that way?
Hopemar says, "Aye, lass. There's Axbite Ridge. Just on the other side is Frostford in the Icevale Valley." He says, yes. And you can see at the top of the mountain, there's actually a large tower. He says, "I used to be a bit of a holdfast, however, I think it's fallen out of use and is kind of in disrepair lately. Shortest way through, though, we'd have to go around the mountains to get to the other pass that lets us in there."
So how much longer do you think that's going to take?
That's only a day's walk away, and once we get there, it's about another day till Frostford.
All right.
This accent's getting away from me.
Seems doable.
So the next day is also pretty uneventful. However, as you find yourself about 2 or so hours from the mountain, it's looming in front of you. It's the only thing you can really see now. You start to hear shouting, and everyone roll a perception check.
17.
Only 13.
Okay, Dread and Atrix, you notice a large force of some sort making their way up a mountain path that you can see from here. There seem to be about 30 fighters. Then there's a sudden flash of light from the top of the mountain, and snow cascades down the ridges, taking down trees with it, and the avalanche covers these 20 or these 30 or so people. And the snow also fills the ridge that you were going to make your way through.
I mean, we could still climb over it.
Potentially, it might take a while, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we have a...
Hilfmar swears in Dwarvish. He says, "That's not what we like to see."
It's still passable, though, isn't it?
We'd probably have to dig our way through, or go through the fort. There's a way through the mountain, but, I'd heard it's dangerous.
Would it be faster to just go through, or to...
Perhaps. First, let's see if anyone survived that avalanche.
I'm not gonna bet on it, but okay.
Let's go check. Maybe we can steal it.
And as you go at a faster pace. You were kind of like leisurely walking, not to get too exhausted before. Now you're kind of hurrying because people's lives could be on the line. And you see roughly half, maybe a little bit more than half, of the bodies that the avalanche hit kind of dig themselves out, help each other out, and start their way up the mountain again. They enter a cave before you can arrive there.
That's resilient.
That's a lot more people who survived than I would have expected.
It's like that scene in Mulan.
Yeah.
Actually, it was probably closer to 10. now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Still a good chunk of them, but
Mhm.
a lot died.
Could
15. 15's a good number.
Could we tell by at a distance I'm gonna say what race, but like what kind of creatures they were?
Roll a perception check.
20.
Okay, well, the 20, you can see rough shapes. They're all humanoids, with the exception of there seem to be some pack animals, like large wolves. So not pack animals, pack hunters, pets, I guess. There were some large wolves among the force, however, most of those seem to have gone down in the avalanche. And most of the humanoids are very large in stature.
Like how tall?
Taller than the average human.
So 7,
6-ish
8?
feet.
Okay.
Average.
Okay.
Y'all down to go into a cave?
I don't see why not.
All right. Hjolfmar says, I'm going to see if I can find any other stragglers that may have survived that blast. If you'd like to come with me, you can. Otherwise, you can start your way up the mountain.
I love that you have this accent, but then you say mountain like we're from Utah.
I don't know any other way to say it.
I don't even know if that accent can allow you to say mountain.
Man.
Mount.
Um,
Okay.
anyway, I guess we could check for stragglers because it's gonna be on the way up, right?
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, you do start to hear someone struggling, and like pretty much you walk to the part of the cave-in the past that's passable. There's like basically a huge wall of snow that you'd have to tunnel through, and it'd take a while from what you guys know about tunneling in snow.
Which isn't much, but it's okay.
And Hjolfmar will confirm this if you ask him, but you do hear someone struggling, like you hear something moving and struggling to escape from the snow.
I didn't pack a shovel.
Just checked and I don't have one either.
All right, you can try to dig him out with your hands.
Okay.
You're all wearing
Yeah.
gloves, so you won't risk frostbite or anything.
I have a -1 to strength, so I'm probably not going to be the
Just
most
roll a group
helpful.
check. Everyone roll strength.
Okay.
Athletics.
Oh shoot, that's an 8.
18.
10.
All right, that's a pretty average roll. It takes a little bit, about 10 minutes,
I
but you
start
manage
sweating
to
and
free this
take a break
person.
halfway through.
It's a human man, and as you take the snow off of him, you see that some debris has crushed his legs completely, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He says, I still live. It's something. I'm in a lot of pain here, but thank you. Who are you? You weren't with us before.
Unrelated. What are you from? Where are you from?
So I'm from Frostford Village. We came to try and claim the keep for ourselves. I'm Brondor Wyvernsblood, former mayor of Frostford.
Former mayor.
There's been a bit of a political upheaval, and I've been ousted. And naturally, he is saying this through like clenched teeth and having a very hard time talking.
Oh.
How old is he?
He appears to be in his mid-20s.
I can use my heal. I can use one of my healer's uses, or healer's kit uses.
Yeah, that'd be good. Just stabilize him, make sure he's not going to die on you.
Yeah.
All right, so he's stable now. You pull him out, put splints on his legs, even though they look like they're probably not going to make it.
I mean, I could do other things like put a poultice on or something to ease pain.
Yeah.
Or even, like, frankly, we could amputate his legs.
If you guys want to amputate his legs, you can amputate his legs.
I'm just saying we're not stuck on keeping his legs that are probably not going to make it.
They're broken beyond repair for sure.
Eli,
Yes,
you have a heavy sharp sword, don't you?
I do.
Hold on.
You should probably ask the guy if he's alright with us just pulling off his legs.
Sir, would you like to have limp noodles for the rest of your life that are heavy to drag around and weigh you down, or would you like us to free you of that burden?
Nay, when I felt the avalanche crush my limbs, I knew I'd lose them. I've accepted it.
That was quick.
Do you want to, or shall I?
I'll do it.
Good, you're better at it.
Shannon's squeamish, Eli's not. So I need to roll for leg chopping.
No, he's not resisting. So
Stop resisting! Whack, whack, whack.
Stop eating all the potatoes!
and he shouts out in pain, but seems better once you take off the.
Yeah, well, once they're off,
The
I'll
nasty
What are
legs.
we going to do
bandage them
to
up.
stem the bleeding?
No,
Gilmore's got plenty of
well,
bandages.
I
and
was gonna say I've got my
emergency
healer's kit. I can actually use it now.
supplies. All right, and
He stops bleeding, Shannon.
yeah,
We pack it with ice and
And then I just grab his legs and flip it.
Oh!
Dread, why?
the coolest new nunchucks.
4 episodes
This
in.
guy.
legs.
I got flesh nunchucks.
4 episodes in, the player throws up on Mike.
Shannon has to quit.
First podcast to have a live vomit. So Hjolfmar sets down his hammer, which he's been carrying. He says, "Well,
Oh.
someone's going to have to stay back with the lad. He obviously can't walk, and I'm assuming the mountain's dangerous."
No, I think it's fine. This mountain's not dangerous.
He only lost his legs.
And I
We
gave you his
could-
name, right?
we
Rondor?
Yeah, we could backpack with him.
I'll just slow you down. There's creatures aplenty on the mountain that will make things nasty enough as is, and frankly, my friend's got a large enough head start at this point that they'll probably need help if they haven't come back for me yet.
Eli's gonna scuff snow over the blood snow to keep from getting tracked by things that like blood.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna cover it because you were grossed
Yeah, I
out.
thought you were just gonna be like,
That was the
I
original
don't
intent. That I realized it could be practical, so I'm just using my grossed out with human bodiness.
My sister and our friends will have made their way up most of the mountain by now. It's a pretty swift climb, actually. It's been modified, as you can tell by the tower up near the top. But there are many hostile creatures living in the network of caves and buildings that line its surface.
So Hjolfnir, right?
Hjolfmar.
Hilfmar. Oh, yeah. He's just gonna stay with him and wait for us to come back.
Yeah.
Like in a couple of days.
No, come back from the top of the mountain once it's clear of enemies, so then you can bring the guy through.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
And Ingrid says, "I would probably just get in the way. I think I'll also stay back with Hjolfmar."
Good plot device.
all that training for nothing.
She'll come back later.
To be fair, we're level 4 and she's easily like level 1.
Yeah, like level 1.5 now because you guys actually trained her on the way up here.
I doubt she was level 1 to begin with. She was commoner.
she's
Challenge
like-
level half.
Yeah, basically. Basically, you've taught her how to use 2 weapons, so she's an actual adventurer now.
Hooray!
That's how it goes. Okay.
And the incline to your right, which you saw those other creatures, which you're free to ask about, go up. Well, there were the 4 other members of my party. My sister, Arwick the Halfling, Savroff the Half-Dragon, and Bryn the Elf, as well as, I'm not sure how many survived the avalanche. I know a few must have died with me, but a few of the orcs from the local orc clan were going to undertake this expedition in order to share custody of the tower once the slopes are clear.
So are they
Okay.
using like a timeshare or?
Well, the orcs would take military possession over it. We just needed to use it as a temporary headquarters while we plan our re-entry to Frostford.
Axe bite sounds like ass bite.
I know, right? Did you say ass wipe?
Yeah.
We don't have to play.
So we just head up to the outpost, yeah?
Start making your way up?
Yeah.
Okay. After making your way up a steep incline, you find yourselves in a small clearing which is currently home to a pair of orcs who are huddled around a large bonfire.
The orcs are here with intent, though, right? They're not pillaging or doing any harm, right?
I think you're right. I think they're here with the mayor.
All right.
Ex-mayor.
He's still a mayor in my heart.
Okay.
It's like how when a president is
No longer the president, you still call him the president?
Yeah.
Okay.
or like Mr. President, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Alright. So you guys want to approach the orcs?
Let's do it.
Okay. The orcs turn to you, and one of them shouts something at you. And do any of you speak Orcish?
No.
Mm-mm.
None of you understand what he's saying.
Do they speak Dwarvish?
Try it.
I speak Dwarvish.
What do you say in
say?
Dwarvish?
Friend or foe?
They, are you guys, like, putting hands on weapons or anything?
No.
Okay,
No.
completely non-threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
Even wave.
okay, you guys wave. The orc puts his sword away and says something to the other one in Orcish. He then gets up and turns around and he says, "Hello, you not with other humans?"
No.
I'm a human.
No.
Is
No.
this an
He's
issue?
not. He's not. He's not with the others. He's asking about the ones who've already come through.
Says, who sent you?
We're here by ourselves.
Here help?
Yes.
Ah, here help. And says, others go that way. And he points at a rock wall that looks scalable on the north end of this.
Oh,
clearing.
I thought it was a Hogwarts.
You could
vision
try.
wall.
I don't think it would go well.
He uses legs as battering rams.
No.
I have a battering ram.
He says, others go that way. We rear guard of orc army.
Did you put legs in your inventory?
Please do not.
No,
put
I did
them in
not
your
keep them
inventory.
with me. I stuck them in the snow.
Oh,
Like
that's
it looked like
worse.
someone was buried in
Someone's like, we'll
That's
save
like-
you, buddy, and then whoop.
there. And then they just pull out these legs. Ah.
That's such a good prank, and I'm just so excited.
So, yeah, the orc points you towards that rock wall. He says, we are the rear guard of the Whistling Rock Orcs.
The real guard? Where's the fake guard?
Rear guard.
Rear.
Okay.
The behind guard.
And he also welcomes you to use their bonfire if you need to rest.
Thank you.
Do
I'll
we
lay
need,
in the bonfire.
do we need to rest?
No, you don't need to rest.
Thank you, we're fine then. We'll just keep heading up.
All
Yes.
right. Who wants to climb this rock wall first? It's about 20 feet.
I'll do it.
Roll a strength check, athletics.
Wowie, wow, wow,
I
wow.
don't remember what number that is. Is that a 6 or an
It's not
A
an
6.
8? Okay, thank you. That's a 21.
Well, alrighty. You have
We
no
see a
trouble.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, you basically just Spider-Man your way up that wall.
Alright.
Shannon, do you want to do anything to assist your teammates in following you?
I have 50 feet of rope.
Alright, you gonna lower a rope?
Yep.
Cool.
No.
Everyone will have advantage on their strength checks.
Or Dex checks?
No, strength.
Are you
You're
sure?
pulling your own weight up a rope.
Is he only just gonna have to pull everyone up like Andre the Giant?
I got 16.
I got a nat 20.
You both are fine.
Woo!
If
I'm
you, like,
glad.
Do a backflip, like, while climbing the
It
rope.
looks like I'm flying.
Yeah, basically.
2 Spider-Mans and then me.
Help!
Alright. At the top of the rock wall, you find signs of a struggle amidst some scattered pines. There are a few orc corpses amongst the trees, each of them peppered with black feathered arrows. Someone roll a perception check.
20.
Alright. You find one of the orcs breathing.
Hello.
No, someone came. Thank God. I'm bleeding out here, man. Can you help me?
Healer's kit!
I don't have one. But you guys do.
Yeah.
Somebody please save the orc.
Alright, I can bandage him with my healer's kit. That's 2 out of 10 uses.
Thank you, friend. I'm Granash. We were ambushed by gnolls on our way up. We got separated off from the group, and I think my friends are dead that were here with me.
What are gnolls?
They're hyena people.
Ooh.
They are nasty buggers.
Yeah.
The gnolls should still be nearby. They attacked from the trees, but I think they went towards that cave in pursuit of the rest of my friends.
Oh, so we should hurry. Can we leave him? Is he stable?
Yeah, he says, I can hold my own. He pulls a dagger. If they come back, but thank you. You've saved my life this day.
Can we bring him inside the cave where it's undoubtedly warmer than the cold
Sure.
exterior side?
You could even lower him down the rock wall if you want to his buddies.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Let's lower him down. We got
man.
Yeah, so you tie him up on a rope and get the attention of his friends.
I
And
think between the three of us.
I'm not even gonna make your roll check.
Yeah.
You just lower him down. He's safe. Gronash is safe.
Hooray.
With his friends. Having a campfire.
Everyone roll another perception check.
14.
19.
Ooh, bad luck, friendos. Even you.
6.
Really?
They rolled real good.
Oh no. We gonna get ambushed.
Gonna die.
So you hear a sound that sounds somewhat like a dog yelping. A mix between like a human talking and a dog yelping.
Oh.
And
right.
So I think
On every level, except physically. I don't know.
3 Snow White hyena men pop out from behind some of the trees that you had
Oh,
saved Gronash from,
that's interesting.
and
I'm just
they.
imagining Snow White's persona.
Ew.
Why, Shannon? They
Ew,
attack
how
you
many-
with longbows.
How many furries do you think actually have a persona that's a hyena?
None.
Quite a few, I bet.
Like it seems like a common one, except like you don't really think about hyenas like at all.
My persona
Yeah.
is the hot lion from Lion King 2.
His name? I actually forgot his name.
Coup something.
All right, everyone roll initiative.
Kubo? Something like that. Uh-oh.
17.
8.
8.
Hey!
I am the best.
But no high five for you.
This dice is not doing good.
You should take it home and have your girl kiss it for you.
Yeah.
That's really how like you get dice to roll well.
All right,
If I don't have a
and
girl.
these 3 gnolls assess Eli as the greatest threat because you are the most heavily armed. The other 2 of you look less like warriors and more like you're just hanging out. Like you're just less obviously warriors at a glance. They can see you have weapons and stuff on you, but Eli's in friggin' chainmail, got a great sword and a rapier
Eli
on
is
him
squad
and a
leader.
shield. Yeah, you're squad leader.
You could also, I mean,
They open fire with longbows.
I don't
Eli
mean-
has the plan.
I don't mean to also say this, but like the truth of the matter is Eli is also the least terrifying out of us.
Yeah.
Not to a gnoll. Well, they're demon spawn. They don't care about tieflings.
Just let me be strong.
Yeah, let Eli leave Brittany alone. All right, first one does a 22 hit you,
No.
8 damage. Second one fires. This arrow is going to sail by you, and then the third one fires, also missing. But the first one catches you real good in a chink in your chainmail. And
You
okay,
did really
who wants to go
good.
first out of Dread Matrix?
I'll go.
Well,
And the first gnoll's
like,
going to
official rule is
now
if
take
you,
another
if
shot at
players
Eli.
match, they get to decide who goes first out of the two.
That's only an 8 to hit you, Eli.
Nope.
Okay, and it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna use my rapio.
Maybe don't call it that, Shannon.
Please don't call it.
Oh no!
Uh,
Rapier, can I do that all over?
an 8 does not hit
Good! I didn't deserve it.
this first gnoll that attacked you with a longbow. The second gnoll is going to draw his weapon, a spear, and approach you to attack.
no! Kill me.
9 to hit.
Nope.
Alright, and it's Red's turn.
I'm gonna attack the one that's engaged.
With what?
With my rapier.
Alright, so you run in.
With this power of my mind and the strength of my heart.
13.
A 13 doesn't quite do it. May I remind you that you can use a bonus action to make a crossbow attack.
That's what I was gonna do. Crossbow.
Well, it's just been a week, so I was going to make sure you remembered.
What feature allows him to do that?
He's got the crossbow expert feat, which he picked up at level 4.
Nice.
I got a nat 20.
Okay, well, you crit. Do double damage. I think hand crossbow's a d6. And you also get sneak attack, which is also doubled. 9 plus 6, 15, plus 3, 18, plus your dex.
Plus my dex is 3.
Alright, which is a total of 21. Damn, alright. The gnoll dodges your rapier attack, but that leaves him wide open for a crossbow bolt that hits him in the throat, and he's not doing, like, he's going to bleed out, but he's still standing.
Give us a layout.
Alright, so you've got some trees to the north, like immediately in front of that cliff face. Eli and Dread have charged into these trees to attack the 3 gnoll rangers, 2 of whom are engaged with them in melee about 20 feet from you, Atrix. The third one is about 40 feet away, still using his bow, to the northeast.
Feeling cocky and excited to try my new tool out.
Alright.
I'm going to use the, is it okay if I workshop a new name for the Shadow Slash?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll think about it later, but I'm going to try that out, and I'll engage. There's 2 that Eli and Dread are next to?
Yeah. Eli's engaged with 2 of them in melee, and the third one is off in the distance using a bow.
Okay, I'll go for the one that's not bleeding out from the neck.
Okay. Roll a hit.
Are we good with it being a reach weapon, or is that not okay?
Yeah, why the heck not?
Okay, okay, then I'll be a little ways away. Not ideal, it's a 12.
12 does not make it.
Alright.
Okay, and on that note, it is the final Null's turn, and he sees you do some freaky magic shit, and he's going to shoot at you, Atrix. Oh, that's going to be a 20.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know it? 6 damage.
Okay.
And we're back to the top of the order. The Null leader, who has one hand to his throat, drops his longbow, which you had still been holding, and then pulls his spear and tries to skewer Eli with it. That's
might
gonna
as well
be
happen.
a 22 to hit.
No.
Shannon.
Yeah.
Shannon's AC is a 16 for the listeners at home.
I 18 with my shield, which I have.
Oh, there you go.
Alright, that's going to be 5 damage. And Eli, it's your turn.
Cool. Let's try that rapier again.
Alright, which one? The injured one or the not injured one?
The one that just tried to spear me.
Okay, that's the injured one.
Does a 24 hit?
Yes, and I won't make you roll damage. He's on 1 HP. He's dead.
Okay.
So you basically stab him through his hand that's clutching his throat because he's left that side of his body open and finish him off. He kind of just whines, actually, because he's a dog. As he falls over backwards.
Oof.
It's not good.
The other 2 gnolls are super angry now. It is the second gnoll's turn, and he saw Dread basically just execute his buddy, so he's going ham on Dread now. He jumps towards you and then lunges forward to bite you. Does an 11 hit you?
No.
Alright, he lunges past and ends up behind you and misses. It's your turn.
I'm gonna go after him with my rapier. Not good.
Nice with the rapier.
And I'll try to shoot him with the hand crossbow.
Make sure you keep track of your bolts.
17.
You gotta add your proficiency bonus too. Alright, that hits. Roll damage. And you'll get an extra d6 for being within range of your buddy.
15.
Alright. You once again miss, but him lunging backwards to avoid your rapier slash leaves him wide open for a crossbow bolt straight to the chest. And it's Atrix's turn.
Okay.
And that guy's like right next to you now, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the Shadow Slash again, because I want to win with it. I want to see if I can do well. Okay, that's better. That's a 20.
That will hit.
Yes. So that's a 10 slashing damage with 1 necrotic.
Okay. He is toast. And like the whip kind of like latches around him when you whip him with it, and you can kind of see it drain like something out of him. He loses some color in his eyes and then just falls over dead.
And then it, every time it strikes, after it strikes, like the black mist evaporates and it comes back every time I flick it again.
Dope.
Yeah.
All right. And it is the third kobold's turn. And he's going to actually just start running. He turns tail and runs back into that cave that you saw them come out of. Well, you didn't see them come out of. You would have if you had not been lowering Thronash.
Can I maybe try to stop him?
No, he makes it to the cave. You can't see him anymore.
Okay. He was like 40 feet away, right? Well, like 20 feet away from us. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, into the cave, yes?
I'm gonna grab my bolts first.
And I want to check the bodies real quick.
You get half of your ammo back, Mason, so you're at 19.
And I rolled 12 for investigating.
Okay, so you're just looking around the clearing?
I'm checking bodies.
Of orcs and gnolls?
Yeah.
Okay. The gnolls all carry spears and longbows and arrows. And there's 3 of their corpses. It looks like the orcs did actually manage to take one down with them.
Mm-hmm.
The orcs all have simple, like, bone clubs and swords that seem to be handcrafted, as well as, like, fur armor. Like, they're not well outfitted, but they look pretty ferocious.
Okay.
Minus they're dead.
Right. I mean, in theory, when Ingrid comes back this way,
she can grab some of those.
Yeah, but as for us, I think we're fine.
Okay, so to the northwest of the rock wall you climbed up from, there's a cave entrance, and then the other one's to the northeast, the one that Noel went through.
So there's
2 cave entrances. One of them's to the northwest, and looking at it, it appears to be blocked by a solid wall of ice. And then the one to the northeast is wide open, and that's the one that Noel ran away through.
I mean, solid block of ice is no problem. I create bonfire.
Yeah. Do you want to take a look at it first?
Why did I decide to purchase Tinder when I have the spell create bonfire?
Maybe you just wanted to hook up. Swipe right on life.
Wait,
swipe right is the good one, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Which direction do you guys want to go?
Did the orc that was up here tell us which way they went?
He just said they kept moving forward. He didn't say where. But you said you wanted to check out the ice cave, didn't you?
Well, I'm saying that's not a
option.
blocked option.
I'd be worried that the Gnoll that they're going after the people, so I'd be tempted to trail them.
Mm-hmm. But we're not going to catch up with them, is the thing. They're faster than we are.
Yeah, it did take you guys like 3 more hours to get here after you saw them leave. So they've had a while to get ahead of you.
I mean, theoretically, if we go through the ice cave, we might still catch them before. Maybe. I think we have more of a chance through the ice cave than we do following them directly.
Well, let's go through the ice cave.
All right. So it looks like a solid wall, like I said, but whoever wants to investigate it, roll an investigation check.
Does anyone have?
I do.
Yeah, you should do it.
That's one of my favorite skills, actually. 17.
All right, perfect. You find a hole large enough for you guys to move through in the ice. It was just very hard to see because of ice looking like... Basically, it's layers of ice walls back and forth in front of each other, so it looked solid, but there was a big enough path to go through.
A little bit bummed.
I mean, you could still melt it if you want.
Bummed I couldn't melt. It's fine. Not worth it.
All right. And inside the cave, you find a frozen corpse suspended upside down from the ceiling by its legs, a sword just out of its reach.
This is Star Wars.
This is Star
A one-armed Yeti corpse also lies desiccated nearby. The sword is seemingly ruined by rust, but the corpse is wearing a nice-looking chain shirt.
Ew. Alright, someone else can touch Luke Skywalker.
I'll do it, I don't care. Do you want this chainmail?
You might be the only one who can use it.
Yeah, might as well.
All right. You don the chainmail instead of your old classic chainmail, and you feel warmer.
Chainmail classic.
Like you've been walking for about 20 days, and it's been miserably cold the whole time in your armor.
We made you take off all 3 of your coats.
But when you put this on, some part of you starts to warm up, even though it's cold metal
And
that's
it's
been
your
frozen
foot.
in ice.
It's made by Columbia.
And that's going to be a chain shirt of frost resistance. Oh, the chain shirt's medium armor. Hold on, let me see if that's
I don't
actually
know
enough.
anything about the armor, honestly. I keep forgetting all the rules. In fact, I just had to look up whether or not I get armor. I don't.
I can use it.
All right, chain shirt is medium. It's 13 plus your dex modifier, so 15 if you have a +2 to dex or more.
Right.
So you're actually taking a decrease to your AC if you wear that.
Like your armor.
I think I'm going to keep wearing my regular chainmail for now, but I'll keep that
Okay.
just in case.
Pack it away.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And anyone else want to pick anything else up in the cave?
Can I investigate that sword and see if it's like salvageable?
Yeah. I'm gonna need the DM's guide for this one. So you pick it up, and it's actually still in pretty good shape despite the rust. Like, it still looks sharp, even though it is very, very rusty. And let me see if it requires attunement or if you can just use it.
It's a magic sword.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker had a magic sword, guys.
Does light come out of it?
What?
That is actually no joke. That is a weapon in D&D, and it's possible that Logan put it in.
You actually, so there is an elvish word written on the crossguard of the blade.
I speak Elvish.
All right.
Hey, but can you read Elvish? Yes,
Yes.
you can.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of a cool name for the sword. I didn't actually name it. I just know what type of weapon.
Lightsaber.
Hey, Orge.
What?
Hey,
Not
Orge.
this again, Shannon. It's not funny.
It's the elvish word. It roughly translates to firebrand.
Firebrand, but in Elvish.
And do you say that out loud when you read it, or do you just read it silently?
I think you're supposed to say it
All right. Flames burst from the blade.
Nice.
Lightsaber, fight saber.
out loud.
What are the
Damn, I want a
the
cool magic
stats?
weapon.
You're gonna need to attune
Yours
to it
is
before you can
coming.
actually take
Okay.
advantage of the fire.
Cool.
Like it sparks for a second, and then you feel as if the sword is testing you and trying to connect to like your soul, basically. But since you've not formed that bond with this weapon, the fire goes back out immediately after you say firebrand.
Okay, I'm gonna start tuning.
Okay, that's gonna take 8 hours. Do you guys want to camp out for 8 hours to attune?
Attunement only takes 2 hours.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay.
Oh wait, yes. Okay. Is it a weapon she'd actually be able to use with her abilities? Because remember, we worked really hard to make sure that she's
It's a
good with
long
the
sword.
rapier.
It's a long sword.
So does that work?
It's a one-handed weapon.
Okay.
One or two-handed weapon. You can use it with either.
Okay. Cool. But you can't do dueling
Yeah.
with two-handed weapons.
Yeah. So if you're sword and shielding it, you'll still get to use your dueling bonus. If you're two-handing it, you get a higher tier dice.
Okay.
But
Like-
okay. So here's the thing: if you do the dueling,
Can
you
someone
are
remind me what the stats of dueling are?
okay. So that's like
I think it's plus 2 damage.
dueling.
With one-handed
Yeah, plus
attacks.
2 damage for one-handed attacks. So that's guaranteed to be better than any two-handed weapon you're going to do, because the difference is a potential 2.
And
in
you'll
the
get to keep
dice.
that AC bonus.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a potential 2 bonus damage, but you're guaranteed that bonus damage if you do the one-handed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the rock you picked up.
So here's the thing: never use two-handed
Yeah.
because you're going to do better.
All right, and so you're attuning. You guys hang out in the ice cave with the Yeti.
Oh wait,
corpse.
no, hold on. We actually sure we want to attune now?
Yeah, I guess talk about that. Shannon wants to attune, but
Which I get, but also we are trying to save some people.
Yeah.
We got the old mayor down.
it may help you though.
I mean, I
Um,
get it, but like, why don't we wait until we have to take a short rest later? 'Cause I have a feeling we're probably gonna need tea.
Well,
I'm
I've kind of been
already at
doing the
18
critical role
HP,
thing where a short rest is
so-
only 10 minutes.
Oh, have you?
Low key, we haven't used any yet. I was gonna mention that when you said you wanted to take a short rest.
Oh, okay.
I'd appreciate a short rest because I'm down to 18 HP. And if we're gonna get in a big fight, that's not great.
We'll just say during a rest you can attune. It's fine.
Okay.
So you basically establish a connection with this sword.
Short rest, right?
Short rest, yes.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to use a hit die if you want to regain HP, Shannon.
Yeah. I'm back to 20.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
And you basically just stare into this weapon. There's a gem in the hilt, the pommel of it, and
What color?
green.
Okay.
Actually, it should probably be red. Huh?
Yeah.
It's a fire sword. Red. It's a red gem. You basically stare into it and feel this sword isn't sentient by any means, but it has a presence of some sort. You feel it connecting to you, and
It's the one.
after a while,
Oh no.
you feel that you're connected enough that this sword will obey your command now. And it's a flame tongue longsword, so it'll use the regular longsword stats, which is a D8 if you're using one-handed, or a D10. It'll be your strength plus proficiency to hit, and it will do while it takes a bonus action to light the flame, or you can just keep it lit. These flames.
Hey, this works because you can't see in the dark.
These flames shed bright light in a 40-foot radius and dim light in an additional 40 feet. And while the sword is on fire, it does an extra 2d6 fire damage to any target it hits.
Dread, you don't have anything
Is
yet because you
there-
picked up all those knives.
Is there any
That's silver
limit to
knives.
fire usage?
No.
Okay. Where's the stats written down?
Yeah, the flames last until you use a bonus action to speak the command word again, or
Yes.
until you drop or sheathe the sword. Dude, you don't even have to turn them out. You just put them away.
Nice.
That's cool. So now that you've rested in the ice cave, you say goodbye to dead Luke.
Oh, why do we sit here?
And
Attuned to the corpse.
make your way to that. You make your way to that cave entrance you saw previously. Upon first glance, this rock outcropping seems abandoned, but I need you guys to all make perception checks.
We all fail, but we still know there's a but.
16.
5.
14.
All right, Eli. The hairs on the back of your neck kind of start to stand on end,
Spidey senses.
and you hear like a rock fall and clatter to the ground next to you. You look up, and there are 7 gnolls along a ledge, just pressed into the wall above you, with their hands on their weapons.
How far
They-
away?
They're right above you, like it's like 10 feet.
Okay.
They see that you see them, and they all drop down, surrounding you guys.
Okay.
Initiative?
Initiative.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, are you gonna like go off here?
Yeah, can I?
Yeah, go off.
I cast Thunderwave.
All right.
That's gonna get all of them.
Are you gonna use careful spell?
Yes, I'm
I
going
know
to
you
use some
have that, so I
sorcery.
figured I'd
Yeah, I'm
ask.
gonna use some. I'm gonna use one sorcery point to cast Careful Spell. I can choose up to 3 targets that will automatically succeed. My 2 best friends.
All right. And at what level are you casting that at?
Let's do 2. I'm feeling a little frisky.
First null saves. You rolled a 20.
Okay.
I'm gonna check that.
Okay.
That's a con save, right?
Yes, and they have to beat a 13.
Second null saves. Third null saves. Fourth null saves. Fifth null saves. Sixth null does not save.
You can roll all the dice at once.
Yeah, I know, but then I have to turn them one by one. And the seventh null does not save. So 2 nulls don't save, the other 5 do.
That's 11 total, and then half for those who save.
You casted at a higher level for extra dice, though, right?
Yeah.
You use those?
Yeah.
Okay, so 11.
It wasn't very good rolls to begin with,
And then half for the other ones.
including you guys. Sorry. You
Oh.
each are going to take 5.
Okay, then that's gonna
And I just lost what I gained in my short rest.
be sad. Oh, did you add your Constitution modifier? What you got there? Because when you roll hit dice, you add your con. To
So you
HP
get
as
another
well.
3.
All right, and on that, we'll
I
have
love
everyone
that you
roll
crossed those
initiative.
out.
Atrix, since you just did a thing, roll with disadvantage.
That's fine.
23.
Hey. 12. Not bad.
Wait, I zoned out for a half second. Was I supposed to roll something?
Initiative.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
18.
I forgot to cast Mage Armor during the show.
Okay, Dread, you're up first. And you're super surrounded by gnolls, so just
I'll
start swinging.
just whack it one, my rapier, whichever one.
Woo!
21.
All right, that will definitely hit. And you'll get your sneak attack bonus because you are within range of an ally.
14. 4
4 plus dex.
plus, 9.
Okay. Do you have a +5 to Dex?
Oh no, sorry, saving throw.
Just your dexterity bonus, please.
Yeah, I just forgot what number I had before. 7. Sorry.
Okay.
7 damage.
All right. Okay. And that Knoll is going to immediately counterattack you with a spear.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say die. That would have been cool.
And he misses, actually. Eli, your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna use my cool new sword.
All right. You got to use a bonus action to turn the fire on, just so you know.
Achoo.
Okay, cool.
Can I still go?
Yes.
Okay,
What's your roll?
cool. Does a 23 hit?
Yes. And which one are you aiming for? Same one as Dread or a different one?
I'll do a different one.
Okay. You hit the other one that seems like one of the leadery types.
13 damage.
13 damage. Nice. He's barely on his feet. His first singed and it smells terrible as he
Gross.
staggers away.
Mm-hmm.
However, he then cocks his spear arm back and throws it right at you. 11 to hit.
No.
All right. You swing your head out of the way and it sails off the cliff. Useless. Atrix, your turn.
I'm going to use. I'm just going to cast. I'm going to put my hand to my chest, and Black Force is going to cover me for a short period, casting Mage Armor.
Okay. Is that a full action or a bonus action?
That's a full action. And it's not worth spending more of my points for quicken spells, so I'll wait.
You just throw a thunder wave at him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
All right. Okay. Then the gnolls are just gonna take turns poking you.
It's a stab party.
Stab party. All right. First one is going to attack Dread. Does a 13 hit?
No.
All right. Second one's going to attack Eli. That doesn't hit. Third one's going to attack Atrix. That's a net. Wait, is that a 10 or a 20? That's 10. Okay. Does a 10 hit?
No.
Eli again. Ooh, that's a 19. That's going to hit you. All right. That's with a spear, so it's 4 damage. And the last one will also attack Dread. It misses. Dread, you're up again. You forgot to do your crossbow attack last turn.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We're over it.
I'll go for the one I went for last time.
All right.
7.
Just a 7?
Yeah, just a 7.
All right. No dice.
I'll try with the crossbow. 9.
Nope. Still no.
Damn.
All right. Eli, you're up. Oh, wait, nope. That Knoll's going to attack Dread right back.
Damn it. Yeah.
3. And Eli, now you're up.
Gonna use my cool new sword again. Yay!
Same guy or a different guy?
Same guy. Does a
11.
13.
Oh, yeah.
13
right.
hit.
Nope.
I was right about math!
I was just looking at your strength. I forgot that you have
Now remember, you do
proficiency.
have action surge as a fighter.
But you only get that once per day. Be careful.
It's once per
Something
any
tells
rest.
me these aren't the strongest people in this day.
It's once per short or long rest. So, like, if you take another rest.
We haven't even officially made it into the cave. That's why I'm nervous.
Yeah, fair point.
Very
That's
nice.
why I don't really want to go too crazy on spells and stuff.
Did
Uh-huh.
I write the action search down?
You did not.
Oh,
Second
because
time.
Sarah made you that card, but then we lost it.
No. Wait. Yes, we did lose the card. I'm gonna see if I
And
can-
that Knoll is going to counterattack, but this time he has to bite you because he threw his spear.
Okay, that's rabies.
Does a 15 hit?
No, it does not.
All right, you block his gaping maw with your shield.
Kick my dog's mouth shut.
You scissor kick that dog's mouth shut. Atrix, you're up,
Oh yeah. You do have second wind, and you also
Yeah.
have rally cry.
which lets you spread your second
Oh, I
wind to
do
your
have
teammates.
rally cry.
Yes. Yeah. That's probably why you didn't have second wind.
Wait, I have both.
Well, why
Uh,
you didn't have it written down on your character sheet? Oh, you do.
No, she didn't have action surge.
Oh. I don't think she has action.
You get it at level 1.
Okay.
Just a fighter ability.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I was.
I don't know what it is or how to use it, so. moving
Basically,
on.
you use a bonus action to give yourself another action.
So you attack twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or force
Well,
times if you have
well,
multi-attack.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
So later
raging.
on,
You
later
basically
on-
give yourself a second turn on the same turn.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a full action, no matter what that action may be. Okay. We'll just go with Shadow Slash.
One of the injured ones or one of the non-injured ones?
I
Well,
wanna-
they're all injured, but one of the ones that your teammates have been fighting, or one of the ones that no one's been fighting.
One of the ones that nobody's been fighting.
Okay, you want to go for one that got hit really hard by your thunder wave
Yes,
and is
please.
looking bloodied? Okay, cool.
Ooh, 18.
That hits.
10 slashing, 3 necrotic.
That's gonna kill him.
Woo!
Yay.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. 4 gnolls get to go now.
Stabbing party.
What does necrotic mean?
Atrix,
Necrotic has to do with
13.
Nope, has to do with the dead. So basically,
Eli.
I'm stealing his life force. I
Uh,
mean, I don't get it back, but
11
No. Wait, hit or is that damage?
to hit.
Okay.
Dread, 13.
I refuse to take that damage.
And Eli, that's only a 9. So
I'm gonna make a will save.
and you guys get hit. Dread, you're up again. I believe in you. You can finish this
Clench
guy.
I'm gonna
abs.
finish this guy. 22.
22. That will hit. And you get sneak attack still.
By sheer force of
4,
anger, you refuse to take harm.
5.
Plus
That's 8.
8 total?
8 total, and then I'm gonna try to hit him with my crossbow. Or
He's not dead.
okay, I'm gonna try to hit him with my crossbow. 15.
All right, that'll hit.
Oh yeah, man.
9.
All right, he is deadzo.
Stab that dog.
Yeah, you stab him like right in his shoulder, and you hit a tendon or something because you can't
Ew.
use that arm to block the crossbow bolt, which finishes him off.
Shannon, we have to illustrate our audio podcast.
I'm painting a word picture, and it's all bad. Eli, you're up.
It's Jackson Pollock of blood.
This is the reason, like, I was so close to going into veterinary, and I'm okay with a lot of it as long as it's not human, but there are some things.
I get it, man. I get it.
I mean, they're not human if that helps.
Oh, we watched this-
humanoid.
We watched District 9, and part of it, the guy's fingernails fall off, and
Good movie, though.
I puked during Grey's
Also,
Anatomy.
if anyone's wondering, the reason Mason does not get disadvantage on his crossbow attacks, even though he is in melee range, is because of the crossbow master feat we mentioned earlier.
nice.
Education.
Yeah.
Did you pay for that shit? It was free.
No, yeah, I paid for it. I would happily give them my
I thought you meant, did you pay for the feat?
Me too.
Mason bribed me to get that feat.
Yeah, this is a pay to
Mason
win.
has a cool shirt on for the listeners.
I'll use my cool sword. As a
Whoa.
this is a 19 plus 6, 25 hit.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Are you attacking the same one? He's barely standing, or do you want to pick a new target?
I'll pick a new dude.
Alright, you go for one of the healthier ones.
22 damage.
Alright,
Whoa.
you decapitate that son of a bitch.
And
with your fiery
cauterize
sword.
his neck and
Yeah, he doesn't even
holes.
bleed because you cauterize him.
Can I use this like sword to like make toast as I cut the bread? Hitchhiker's Guide.
Probably.
Yes.
But you did just use it to decapitate someone. so
You're gonna need to wash it. Well,
Yeah, that's
I mean,
okay.
it's very hot. It's probably
I'll stick
sanitary.
the sword in water. It'll boil the water, and the boiling water will disinfect.
Yeah, man. This is how science works.
You know, so I just was like, ooh, boiling water. I'm gonna cook myself some ramen. No, we are recording.
Let's make recording poll. What's the best ramen flavor?
Roast
Chili.
chicken.
There's no better.
Pork.
Oh,
Roast chicken.
they're all so good. Besides creamy chicken can die.
That's true.
That's true.
No one likes creamy chicken.
What
Tortilla
sucks?
chicken sucked.
Okay, so I love the roast chicken. Discovered the roast chicken when I was like in early high school. I was really excited about it, but they were out, so I bought creamy chicken. Like, this has got to be the same. It's foul, and I don't understand
it
why it's
so
so
much.
I'm
bad.
not a
So
huge
nice.
fan of chicken ramen. I like Oriental beef and pork.
That's fair.
Oriental's so good.
Yeah.
Dude, have you tried the chili though?
No.
You should try the chili though if you like spicy food.
Chili is good.
Has anybody tried the shrimp?
Yeah, I like the shrimp.
No, I'm not. So, fun fact about me, I was almost a marine biology major. I don't eat fish unless I can prove that it was sustainably sourced. Because of that, I haven't eaten a lot of fish. Because of that, I'm not a huge fan of fish.
Shannon, I want to
so
make sure you know
interesting.
there's not actually shrimp in the shrimp ramen.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was saying, like, because I haven't eaten a lot of fish, I don't like the taste of fish.
Oh,
even if it's
okay.
not
It's sea
fish.
monkeys.
Yeah.
No, it's a like a broth.
Anyway, it's Atrix's turn.
Oh, is it?
There
Is
are
that what
5
we're waiting
nulls
on?
left.
Sorry.
No, it's alright. That
So
was...
distracting.
I started the tangent.
I'll cast a bonfire, create bonfire on.
I'm gonna let you hit 2 of them with this, because they're all in ambush mode.
Okay. They both have to. 2 of them have to make dex saves.
They both failed.
Okay, that's only 3 damage, but I got 2 of them.
Alright.
2 of them.
And it is one of these flaming gnolls' turns. He's gonna step back a step to get out of the bonfire,
Oh darn.
and then throw a spear at you.
Oh no.
Does a 14 hit?
Nope. Not with a
Second
mage
gnoll's gonna do
armor.
the same thing.
Okay.
13. So they
Nope.
both missed. But neither of them are in the bonfire anymore.
Okay.
And
I'll dismiss it.
the last gnoll in the order is going to attack Dread Harbor. That's gonna hit. 4.
I'm
Do
ready.
you know how much damage you took?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm waiting for it.
9.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
Where are you
Heads
at?
up, I only have 5
Oh no, man.
hit points.
Guess what? None of us picked healer types.
Yeah. We're
Wait, Shannon, you can use your second wind and heal everybody.
Oh, yeah.
That's a bonus action, too.
You have so few uses.
It's also
of
your turn. No, it's Dread's turn.
It's my turn. I'll attack
Like, how
one of
many
them.
times?
Okay, there's one that's barely standing, one that's not looking so hot, and 2 that look pretty much fine, but we're just barely on fire.
I'll attack one that looks fine but was barely on fire
Okay,
with my rapier. 15.
that hits.
8. And then I'll shoot him with the crossbow. 19.
That hits. But
6.
plus sneak attack if you want to add it. 12. Alright, he's dead. And Eli, you're up now.
Cool. I'm gonna do an attack. But can I attack? Am I in range of the one closest to Dread? Or the one attacking Dread?
I just killed one.
He
Oh,
just killed
gotcha.
one, yeah.
Gotcha, cool. I'm just gonna attack the one I was already
Basically
attacking.
everything's at the same range from Dread because they were in a circle around you.
Mhm.
13 hit.
No.
Okay.
Do you want to use a bonus action?
Does
Don't
that
use
cost
your
me?
action surge. We haven't
Okay.
even entered the cave yet.
Well, I meant
You-
maybe
you
for like
can't-
second wind.
You can maybe, yeah, if you want to use second wind, rally cry, that's fine.
You can wait. If I die,
I'll use second wind
we've
on
got, like-
Dread.
Oh,
No,
okay, so what
So
happens?
you use it on yourself, and then you can choose to use the rally cry version, which heals all of your teammates.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually
For
up
the
to
event
3,
roll,
but
up
like,
to 3,
but
but
there's
that's
2 of
good for
us.
you.
Cool. Okay, how do I do this?
Roll a d10. Add your fighter level, so 4.
And we gain 4. We gain your fighter level.
Okay.
Okay, so Dread, you heal for 4. Atrix, you heal for 4. Eli, you heal for 9.
hey, that's how many hit points I have.
And the gnoll
not
that
even
is
that
barely
long.
standing staggers forward and tries to bite Eli again.
Ew. Ew, Shannon!
That's gonna hit, dealing
What if it bites me and it dies?
5 damage. 70 damage. Just kidding. It's a joke. Atrix, your turn.
Okay, Shadow Slash. This last guy, right? There's just one?
There are 3.
Oh, whoops. Okay, never mind. Create bonfire on 2 that are not.
They're not in range of each other anymore. One
Okay.
of them's the one that jumped back out of the circle, and then the other 2 are on opposite sides.
I'll Shadow Slash the guy who jumped back.
Okay.
That's a nat 20!
Alright.
So it's 2. It'll be 2 of the d8s, but only 1 d4, right?
No, it's 2 of both.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 2 of both. I mean, I let sneak attack do doubles, and I think that's right, so
7 slashing, 5 necrotic.
for a total of 12? He's not quite dead. But you, basically, wrap it around his hand, and
Rip it off.
sure, yeah, you rip his hand clean off. Not his spear hand, he's still got his spear.
Oh, okay.
Alright, And it's his turn, and wouldn't you know it, he's pretty pissed.
That he's missing a hand.
He's gonna. He's one of the ones you set on fire too.
I know.
So he's gonna throw a spear at you. Yeah, he hits.
Okay.
That's gonna be 6 damage.
Okay.
It kind of just wings you. It doesn't stick in.
Mm-hmm. Mostly get clubbed with it, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Next, Noel is going to attack Eli with his spear. That's going to be a 18 to hit.
That is my armor level.
He hits 6 damage. And Dread, your turn.
I'll hit one of them.
Yeah, there's 2 that are barely standing, and 1 that's looking injured, but not that injured.
I'll attack the rest. It's looking injured or not.
Alright, that's the one that just stabbed Eli.
With that, 13.
That does not do it. Do you want to use your bonus action?
Oh, yeah. I was like, what are you waiting for? Let's do it. 20.
Ooh! Same guy?
Same guy.
Alright, 4d6 is my...
15.
You kill him.
Yeah.
You get him
man.
right between the eyes with that crossbow bolt. He
Woo!
just drops to the ground.
Oh, I hated how that sounded like probably what it would have sounded like.
I'm good at that.
I
It has died.
I practiced getting shot in the head.
Alright, Eli, your
and
turn.
go
There are
on.
2 gnolls left, and neither of them are looking good at all.
Cool.
20 to hit? Yeah.
Yeah.
60 damage.
Yeah, that hella kills it. You, like, cut off all of his limbs in one hit. It
Ew.
shouldn't even be
Ew.
possible.
He just cuts in a circle.
Yeah. His torso falls to the ground.
You miss his head though, so you have to like start. It's more like a
kind
U.
of like it's kind of like when you like rip the tablecloth out from under everything, but it's so smooth that like he stays standing.
Yeah.
He like his like torso floats a little bit and just falls back on top of the legs, but then the arms drop.
He's upside down T-posing. And Atrix, your turn. There's
Okay.
1 left.
Shadow Slash.
Alright.
I'm really enjoying using it. I know I'm a spellcaster, but I also don't want to burn all my slots. That's a crit fail.
Steals
Uh-oh.
your soul.
You die. No, nothing really bad's gonna happen. You just kind of lose your balance and fall to your knees.
Okay.
Like
I slip in the snow.
he catches. So what happens is he catches the lash around his sword and then pulls you down onto the ground,
Okay.
or on his spear.
All right. And then it of course evaporates, but
Then it's his turn. He's going to attack, counterattack you.
okay.
Ooh, that's gonna be an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
4 damage.
Uh-oh.
All right, and Dread, your turn.
I'll stab him.
Yeah, man.
No, I won't.
All right, do you want to try and shoot him, or just let him go to Eli's turn?
15.
15 hits.
I like that we say shoot him because it just sounds like we have a gun.
He basically has a gun.
I know.
5.
All right, that's enough to kill him.
Woo!
He's standing over Atrix with a spear, and you just kind of shoot him right in his kidney, and he dies.
After missing with the sword, but it's okay.
You're like, eh. Oh, that didn't work, and then you shoot him in the spot where he hit the sword.
Yeah, not very good at that.
And you can drag your ammo, right?
He's
Cool.
just like not strong enough to drive the sword and
Yeah,
pulls
it just
him.
bounces off.
It's because I spent that week training.
You lost
Yeah,
muscles.
he's using his drawstring arm, which he's been using a longbow with, which takes a lot of power to pull back.
Yeah.
So, like, it's okay. All right, you killed all the gnolls.
Woo!
So,
Can I try to pick up some bolts before we leave?
yeah, how many did you spend? You had 19 going into that.
Yeah, I spent 5.
And are these
All right, you
corpses
get 3
worth
back.
rating?
They had the same thing those previous ones had.
Okay.
Just spears. Minus the one that threw his spear. That one's gone.
Too bad some of them don't have any healing potions.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys can take a rest if you want.
We can't we haven't even gotten into the cave.
All
I
right.
do only have 9 hit points, though.
I know, like, we're not looking good, but, like, I mean, we probably should, because we're not doing so well, but, like, we're not far in.
I will go with whoever makes the most persuasive argument.
We need to heal.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you want to do a short rest or a long rest?
They all rolled hit dice, so I guess you're doing a short rest, homie.
Oh, I assume
Your
that's
hit
what
die
was
is
on
a
the table.
D8, and you have 4 of them.
Long block.
So you roll the D8, and then you add your Constitution, whatever you roll. So
Oh, that's
3
right.
HP back for that one, and you spend 1 hit die.
I rolled max.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1 and a 3.
And I was a smart sorcerer and put points into Constitution.
Alright, so Mason, you use 2 hit dice, right?
Yeah.
Does anyone else have that thing where like you can't leave your dice on either the highest or the lowest number or the one you just rolled?
Oh no, I just put them all on the highest number.
And I don't
feels
because I feel
first.
like I feel like it jinxes it, so I just
Yeah.
try to let them sit where they land.
Oh man, I feel like I roll off 20s.
Like I'll just drop them back into a spot, and if they sit somewhere, that's fine. But
Alright,
I
and
don't
you guys
set
kept
them
track of how many
anywhere.
hit dice you have remaining, yes?
Yeah.
So when you take a long rest, you'll get half of your total hit dice back. So,
Oh, okay.
Um,
So it only takes. So theoretically, if we use them all, it would only take 2 rests to
Yeah.
fill it back up.
but
Okay.
not a short rest, please. So,
Yeah. I'll rest right away.
And you're heading into the next cave. There's only one way to go. This one actually has a carved stone door with a kind of
Wanna
nasty
knock.
leather hide draped over the entrance. It doesn't have it's just a door frame. There's no actual door.
We could still knock if we felt.
You could like pull the leather
So-
tight. You can knock if you want.
I'm good.
Alright, you enter this cave. There are bones and rotting flesh everywhere of various other creatures.
Well,
You
this was a mistake.
spot deer, bears even. You actually notice a couple kobold corpses amongst the
They're
tiny dragon men.
They look like dragons. They're not actually dragons.
That is big. They're
You said this big.
Yeah.
They're like 4 feet tall.
okay. And so there's a bunch of rotting corpses everywhere, and a very large gnoll sits on a throne made out of bones. He points a glaive at you. Says, "You have come to challenge Chitterma, eh?
Yeah.
Just like the others." And he points to a cage on his left where 2 women, an orc woman and an elf woman, sit bound.
But not a
I thought
half
he was talking
dragon.
about all the
Nope.
deer, and I'm like, I don't think they challenged you. I think they just kind of
I
like
know, I
wandered
lost.
in.
I was like, I don't think any, but I mean, yeah.
He sniffs loudly. You will make fine presents to the white lady.
Thank you.
Why does it have to be a wise thing?
Your sculptures will adorn her hall for years.
To be fair, bones are white.
And
To
he
be fair,
stands
bones are
up
white.
and readies the glaive and points it at you. And now roll initiative.
19.
Nice.
I
I got a 1. +2, but I got a 1.
Okay, you're gonna go last, baby.
I know it.
You almost didn't. If that makes you feel better. What'd you get, Mason?
11.
So 19, 11, 4,
And how far away is he right now?
20 feet. All right. And Eli, you're up first.
Yay! Cool
Moss, Roy.
sword. Cool sword.
Just gonna run in and get him with the flame
Whoops.
brand or whatever I call
That's
it.
an 8.
Firebrand. An 8. Ooh, nope, not gonna hit with that one.
Yep.
Do you want to do a bonus action of any sort?
Nah,
All right.
he's squishy.
I mean, you don't know that. He's very large. I did say he was very large.
He's a big dog.
All right. Dread, you're up.
I'll go try to stab him. 16.
No, sir.
And then I'm gonna try to shoot him. 21.
That one hits. You find a chink in his armor. This gnoll is much better armed. He seems to have like cobbled together his own set of makeshift plate armor using a bunch of other pieces of armor.
6 damage.
6 damage. All right. Did you add your sneak attack bonus?
3. So 9 damage.
9 damage. All right. All right. And it's his turn. All right. And he's going to attack. He's going to attack Eli with the glaive. That's gonna hit for sure. 6 damage. And then he swings the glaive around to Dread too with a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
6 damage. He then lifts his maw towards the sky and howls a low, baleful howl. and 2 more white gnolls run in from the outside of the cave to join the battle.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
All right. The patch of earth is going to rise up behind him and form a very large hand. He has to make a strength save.
He's pretty good at those. Yeah, that's a 17.
Okay. Yep. All right. The hand vanishes then.
And
Then I'm going to use 2 sorcery points, cast Quicken spell, give Dread fire breath. You are going to have acid breath.
wait, the spell's called Fire Breath, but you get to pick
Oh,
it.
dragon's breath. Sorry.
Okay. I
Sorry.
was like, that's confusing.
No, yeah, dragon's breath. You can use an action to exhale energy in a 15-foot cone. They must make a dex save, or take 3d6.
You could, if you, it's your turn now, Dread. Oh wait, no, it's not.
Or half on
You
a-
got the
half on a success.
2 other gnolls, and they're both going to try and shoot Eli. Neither of them hit. So the arrows just kind of whiz past you and clatter off the rock walls. They've come in from the south entrance that you just came in through. That wasn't clear. And they are standing pretty close together, so Dread, if you wanted to try and hit him with the Dragon Breath attack, you probably could.
I'll try it.
All right.
They've got to do a saving.
A dex save.
Yeah, and you're going to have to use your bonus action to disengage because you're a rogue and you can do that. Because you'll have to move a little bit so you don't hit Atrix.
Alright, I'm going to disengage and go
Thank
and
you.
shoot them. So.
How long does the Dragon Breath last for?
I think
Okay.
it's concentration for a minute.
Okay, and they both roll dex saves, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no. They don't save. Yeah, it's your spell save, right?
6 damage.
6 damage total?
Ooh, bummer.
Yeah. There's a 1, 2, and a 3.
That's okay. You have 6 more turns to do it before it'll go away. Or, unless I get whacked on the head real hard.
Okay.
Hey, the component is a hot pepper.
That's fun. Eli, your turn.
Woo! Sword. Cool.
Whoa.
24.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Nice. 21 damage.
Damn, Shannon.
Cool sword.
All right. Well, that's a mighty blow. You straight up hit him right in his shoulder pad and just crunch it in, which kind of immobilizes his arm a little bit. He can still move it enough to use the glaive, but it's clear that even though he blocked this with his armor, you hit very hard. And
Side note, Logan is obsessed with glaives.
that's why I gave this guy
I know.
Actually, he's modified by a creature that already has a glaive.
But you use it. A glaive is basically it's a long sharpened, like a long dagger on the end of a pole.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a foot or
It's
2.
like a longsword
long.
if that longsword was
Mostly
10
stick.
feet away from you.
Shiv plus stick.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And he's going to attack Eli. Does a 17 hit you?
Nope.
All right, second attack on Eli.
Hey, I think we
17
should take...
still doesn't hit you?
What?
17, that
No.
didn't change your armor class. 17 still doesn't hit you?
No.
Atrix, your turn.
I think we should take a long rest after this if we don't die.
I think you're absolutely right.
Imagine, we've got this whole plot plan and you guys die here.
Yeah. I'm going to cast Infestation on one of the ones that are behind me, right?
Okay, yes, they are.
Okay. They have to make a Constitution save.
All right. They fail.
That's 5 poison damage, and he's going to move 5 feet westward.
You get to pick the direction?
It is random. I have to roll a d4.
Oh, he falls off a cliff. 'Cause, yeah, he was in that last area had a cliff edge in it that you were in, which is how that guy lost his spear off of it, so he's dead.
I like this spell.
You hear him howl as he falls off the cliff to his doom. And
That's
it
rough,
is the
man.
other one's turn, and he's going to try and shoot the fire-breathing rogue. Nope.
He's acid breathing.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. You called it fire breath, and now
I
I got
know.
it in my head that it's fire.
He's vomiting acid. It's
Eli, your turn.
horrifying.
It's like that Incredibles 2 character.
Oh, you're right.
I hate
Yeah.
when I'm being creative and someone already done did it.
Well, there's also Zeitgeist from Marvel Comics. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Of
vomit
vomit.
boys.
Yeah.
The Vom Squad.
Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
Hey Shannon, I think you're OP.
Eli, more like OP Eli.
Ew.
Actually, I think it might just be that the flame tone is kind of OP. That's the
I mean,
legendary.
yeah, we're level 4.
Or not legendary. It's actually only rare.
21 damage.
Jeez.
Oh my
Back-to-back
gosh.
21s. Chittermaw's not looking good, man. He's like, his fur's singed. He got slash marks all on him, and he's just. Dread, your turn. There's one of those guys left. The archers.
Alright, we'll try to take 21.
Alright, yeah, you hit him. And since you're a swashbuckler, you still get your sneak attack because he's by himself.
9.
You hit him pretty hard, but he's not down for the count yet.
So I will shoot him with.
You still have the breath, by the way.
Oh,
But you've already used your action.
Yeah.
yeah, bonus action. 23.
And oh yeah, that does hit. You don't get your swashbuckler bonus because it has to be a melee attack.
4.
Okay. He's not looking good, but he's not quite down yet. Alright. It's Chittimaw's turn. And he gonna attack Eli with that glaive again. Oops, he crit failed. So he actually
Dies.
He swings his glaive and it breaks on your armor.
well, he swings it, you duck under it, and he puts so much power into this swing that he gets the glaive stuck in his throne.
I thought you were going to say throat.
Yeah, I was like, man.
He takes his hands off of it and then bares his teeth at you and lunges forward.
Eli's going to grin back.
It hits. He bites you, dealing 5 damage. Atrix, your turn.
All right.
There is one more dreg and then Chittermaw.
Yeah. I'm going to. I should have done this earlier. It would have been smarter to do this earlier. But I'm going to reach into my cloak again and throw another black shadowy dagger at Chittermaw. He has to make a wisdom save.
Believe it or not, he's not very good at those.
Exactly. I wish I'd thought about using that
He
earlier.
saved.
Did he?
17.
Are you kidding?
He had a stroke with peanuts.
I mean, he's smart for a knoll.
He still takes half of 9, so 4 damage.
Okay. And it's now Eli's turn. Nope, it's the last Dreg who's not dead. And he's gonna use his spear on Dread. Nope, he missed. Woo! He
Eli
just kind of stabs
turn.
past you pitifully as he's almost dead. Eli, you're up.
19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it. Wait. Yeah, that'll do it.
20 damage.
Damn, alright. You slice his belly open. He's
Yeah.
still alive, but like you cooked his organs a little bit.
Oh,
And
The only reason he's still alive is because I'm cauterizing everything.
yeah, basically. He looks hella pissed. Like he's like slightly on fire. He's just
he's got a tiny migraine, a very small migraine.
That's the bonus effect of that sword that I didn't tell you. It gives people migraines when you hit them with it.
I was talking about the thing I did.
Oh, right. Sorry.
It's fine.
Dread, your turn,
I'm
buddy.
incredibly ineffective right now.
I'm gonna go after the one guy with the acid breath.
The little guy with the
The
bow?
little guy with the bow.
Alright, cool. He rolls a dex save? I mean,
Yeah.
wait. He saved, but he's still dead. You can't roll low enough to... No, wait, yes you can. Roll. 3d6.
8.
Alright, he's dead.
4.
Woo!
I was all excited. I remember we're still fighting.
Alright. Chittermaw's up, and he's going to try to bite Eli again. Does a 18 hit.
Yep.
Alright.
Just barely.
It's another 5 damage. And he's going to bite you again. That's over 20 to hit. Oh, and that's going to be 8 damage.
Whew! I have 1 HP.
Nice.
There's nothing we can do about that.
Atrix, your turn. Chittermaw's about to finish off Eli. What you going to do?
Cast bonfire.
Okay, what does he have to roll?
A dex.
13.
That is. Dang
He
it.
saved.
Man!
Alright, Eli, you're up.
Man, get rid of your dice. Get new bad dice.
Alright, do me proud, Firebrand. that I just attuned with like an hour ago. 18 to hit.
That'll do it.
Nice. 18 damage.
Alright, and you just attack him right in the same spot you sliced open earlier, and you run him through with that firebrand. And
Is he dead yet?
yeah, the life just kind of drains out of his eyes as he sits there impaled on your sword, and then he falls back into the throne, dead.
Yeah. You guys gonna take a knee.
Deep breaths, deep breaths.
I'm gonna go try to pick the lock on the cage.
Yeah.
It's actually not locked. That's
Oh.
why they're tied up.
Oh, chitter, Ma.
It's just
I mean, it's
kinda,
latched on the outside.
falling over.
It's latched on the it's latched. It's just not locked.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there is.
Both of them are conscious. They've just been bound and gagged.
Okay, we're going to resolve that for them.
Okay. The elf woman says, "Bryn," to you and nods.
Hello to you too.
Says, "Thanks." And the orc, who's a little bit more long-winded, says, "I am Bashik, leader of the Singing Rock Sanctuary Orc Military."
Good to meet you. Are the both of you all right?
Mostly just humiliated, ready to lead again. The rest of my forces are up ahead.
All right, we'll find them for you.
She says, "No, I'm coming with you." And she
Okay, that's fine too.
grabs Chittermaw's glaive out of the throne with like very little effort, even though he wedged it in with like his full strength.
I know this about you.
And
What are
Bryn
you trying to say?
Bryn fetches her bow from a pile of like loot that was in the corner, and also readies up to come with you.
All right.
I'm gonna check that pile of loot.
There's basically just a lot of weapons in here. Like,
You want more daggers, man?
Yeah. You got any knives?
there's 2 more daggers.
2 more daggers.
Yay!
Oh my
A collection!
and you can refill your crossbow ammo if you want, based on what's in here.
You know. Women who can crush and men who.
Get crushed.
I think we actually. I think that's a good place for us to take a long rest, and both literally and figuratively.
Haha!
Yeah. So we'll catch up with these guys next week. Thank you for listening.
Yay.
Goodbye.